It's time to start learning about Ethereum and building applications. In this video, I'm going to start off with a bit of a history lesson. Normally, in any technology that you learn, the history of how it was created is not always super important. For example, when you learn about HTML, you don't always learn about who first created HTML. However, in the world of Ethereum, development is changing so rapidly at this point in time that I think getting an idea of how Ethereum was created will give you an understanding of what the following projects will be and where it's going. We're going to first start off with October 31st, 2008. This is the first notable event, but it's not tied to Ethereum at all. This was the first white paper describing a system to allow peer-to-peer payments without a financial intermediary like a bank. Essentially, this was an academic paper released by Satoshi Nakamoto, and the paper described a system that would allow people to pay each other directly without the need for a central authority like a bank. Out of this paper, the Bitcoin network was eventually brought online in January 2009. This was the original Bitcoin network. One of the key characteristics of the original Bitcoin network was the idea of a blockchain. We're going to talk about blockchains in great detail throughout videos, but for now, just understand that the Bitcoin blockchain was a tool to store a list of monetary transactions between different people. The Bitcoin network thrived and continues to thrive today. However, the only purpose of Bitcoin was to enable financial transactions. That was it. Send money from person A to person B. Not long after its release, many people realized that they could use some of Bitcoin's innovations to not only handle the transfer of currency, but other types of exchanges as well. And so, which led to the next slide that I will be demonstrating here. And let me resize this for your viewing pleasure. And one notable person who felt strongly about this is named Vitalik Buterin. Vitalik wrote a white paper of his own, which discussed the need for more programmatic control over transactions. Again, a white paper is essentially an academic document, and he published it back in December of 2013. Vitalik was a proponent of the Bitcoin project, but he thought the Bitcoin project was too simple in nature. He envisioned using blockchain technology to create far more complex applications. In fact, he described creating Ethereum to create sub-cryptocurrencies, domain name registration systems, and gambling applications. And he wanted to enable the creation of decentralized autonomous corporations, or DACs. This is what inspired me about Ethereum, and I write about it in my book, Meaningful Work by Luis Daniel Cortez, which you can find on Amazon.com. In that book, I talk about my conceptual nonprofit called R.I.S.E, which is an acronym for Readily Integrated Sustainable Economy. The purpose of R.I.S.E is to create paid work for all, and to do so, R.I.S.E understands that we must establish a new decentralized relationship between money, power, markets, and community and work. So at this time, we're taking baby steps by focusing for now on the task at hand. We're going to use this technology and learn it as we're using it to build more advanced applications. Now, inside his white paper, Vitalik goes on to describe the most important part of the Ethereum network, a concept called smart contracts. And a smart contract is a piece of code that lives within the Ethereum blockchain. This contract can be instructed to do certain things by having a person or another smart contract send a message to it. These contracts are the absolute core of what Ethereum is, and I will be creating subsequent videos explaining the behavior of these contracts. The Ethereum system officially went online on July 30th of 2015 and continues to flourish until this day. Now that we have a sense of one of the design goals of Ethereum, I'm going to continue in a subsequent video to start giving you some experience with the Ethereum network.